Hello and welcome to MCPSS Athletics. My name is Calvin Chris, Athletic Director for Mobile County Public Schools. In the studio today we have from Murphy High School, Athletic Director, Head Football Coach Rick Cawley, and Assistant Football Coach, Head Baseball Coach John Williams. And after this message, we'll be back with our guests.
Diesel is a very big industry, and I went into it in a 2-year program at the Bryant Career Tech with Tony Tillman.
When Jacob graduated from the Bryant Career Center, he had earned his Diesel credential.
The Career Technical Center taught me a lot, all the way from not knowing anything about a motor or engine to knowing pretty much every single moving part of them.
MCPSS Career Tech. Start your future today.
The quality of education that I received from the Mobile County Public School System really prepared me for global success. Being an international opera singer, I get to travel all across the world. And one of the most important aspects about that is being able to communicate and work with people. And the Mobile County Public School System really equipped me to be greatly successful worldwide.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Let's switch to Energy Star light bulbs and stop burning through cash. Saving energy saves you money.
Welcome back to the studio. Our first guest is Coach John Williams from Murphy High School, Assistant Football Coach and Head Football Coach. Coach, appreciate you coming out today.
I appreciate you having me.
Coach, you want to tell us a little bit about your background?
Went to Murphy High School. I played football and baseball there. And then I went to South Alabama. And I got the job fresh out of college at Murphy, coming back to my alma mater. And this is my 5th year at Murphy.
How does it feel to come back to your alma mater? It's probably a privilege to come back, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Murphy High School has the tradition, the pride, and everything that you want out of a high school. I tell people all the time that I can't imagine a better situation.
Well, great. Coach, you want to talk a little bit about your position, what position you coach?
I coach the inside receivers, and then so those guys motion around and stuff and move them. So I feel like week to week, our game plan, I'm just trying to keep my head above water sometimes with all the different stuff that they're doing. But that's mainly what my role is at the inside receivers.
And they got to be good blockers for your quarterback, right?
Oh, they got to be good blockers. They don't get on the field if they can't block.
Yeah, that's all part of it. See, he does such a great job, and of course, people don't realize he's a great ability, but he's got to have some blocking. He don't get very far. Coach, you're also head baseball coach, and this will be your first year, and you're succeeding your brother, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He left and he went out to Mary Montgomery. And I think he's going to coach pitchers out there.
Right.
And, yeah, Coach Cawley was, he interviewed me and then listened to the plan that I had, and I'm just thankful that he's given me this opportunity.
And I guess tied up with football, when are you going to get in your 5 days of evaluation? Is it going to be tough? So I know.
Well, actually, our situation at Murphy is a little bit different than most schools. We play at a public park,
right.
Mims Park, and they play football there, Park League football, all fall.
Right.
So we have to wait till they get done anyway. So it kind of works out pretty well. We'll do our evaluation period in December, which is later than everybody else. But it works out pretty well. We go out there and our kids get all the bleachers off and get all the barricades and get the field ready to have our evaluation period. So I think last year we did it first week of December, and that's what we're going to plan on doing this year as well.
Coach, people don't realize playing in a public park has its disadvantages. A lot of schools can go out their back doors and they got their field there, and you've helped with baseball at Murphy. So what are some of the things that y'all have to do to keep the field up? I mean, city don't come out and just fix it for you and you play, right?
No, sir. No, sir. Our kids go out there and they do an amazing job with it. They go out there and they make sure the field's manicured. They make sure the grass is off of the infield. They do the cutouts. They rake it. They make sure the mound is taken care of. I go out there, I'll cut the grass and do all that, but that's such a small part of it. You know, we have to put the seed down and do the fertilizer and do all that in in the fall, and then hopefully that grass gets coming up and keep water on it, and we just do the best we can. But now we do most of our field maintenance.
Yeah, and I think it's important that the kids help with it because they have time invested in it. So I think that's a good idea. I always said, I know my son played at Murphy, and he knew how to do a field when he got to college. I mean, it was just part of it.
Murphy kids are very, very proud of what we have, and they're thankful for it. And we have a great field to play on. Mims Park, I think, is a top-notch facility. Right. And it's because they have that pride in everything that Murphy has, and they take care of their stuff. That's why it is the way that it is. That's why it looks very, very nice for a city park.
What about your team this year? You got somebody coming back? Did your brother leave you with any players, or is that why he ran?
No. We have a lot of good players coming back. We've got a good group of seniors now. We have some guys that they've never really pitched, so that's our biggest challenge right now is getting with some of our players, and we're going to find some pitchers. But the kids asked me, they said, "Who's going to pitch, Coach? Our 4 best pitchers were all seniors last year," and I said, "We'll have 4 new best pitchers then, you know." So we'll just get some more guys, and we'll try to get them as best we can, and then get them to where they can throw strikes, and we'll be in good shape.
Coach, let's get him back to football. You're coming off a big win against McGill, and I heard you on a 30-minute show that Tim Finnegan about you don't even wear orange. And so what does that week feel like to coach it? I mean, it's easy for the kids, but as a coach, what does that week feel like?
Nervousness. Just nervous. You just want to win that game so bad, and you're putting everything into it for, you know, not just that week. Some people put 365 days into it. The fans do that. That's the one that they want. So you're just nervous the whole week. You're worried. You want to be particular. You want to have attention to detail. You want to have everything perfect before you go in. And you know, you want to say that it's like another game, but the kids can tell that it's just not. It's different. And so you're nervous that whole week. But when you look back on it, especially now, when you look back on it, you feel really good about all the time that you put in.
And I guess it's nothing worse than to see the cannon orange, is it?
Gosh, it makes me sick just thinking about it.
Oh, it's got a good coat of blue on it now, so that's great. But it is a good rivalry, and it seems like you could just throw away the records because there's years that the team that wasn't really the best team wins, and McGill always plays tough, Murphy always plays tough, so it's usually a very good game every year.
Oh yeah, three years ago, you know, they were number 2 in the state, and we were running the single wing, and nobody really gave us a chance, but they still had to play us, and we were able to. We got about 50 points on them, so we were able to win that one. But then they got revenge on us in the playoffs.
All right, Coach, appreciate it. After this message, we'll be back with Coach Colley.
Nonviolence will start with me.
Nonviolence will start with me.
All across the Mobile County public school system, students are taking the pledge.
I pledge to accept the responsibility of my actions.
To solve problems peacefully.
Respect myself and others.
The 100 Days of Nonviolence Pledge. It's an initiative to help explore alternative means of stopping violence among school students. Will you take the challenge? Get involved. Take a stand. 100 Days, 100 Ways.
Type what? Smartboard, that's wrong.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to energy-saving bulbs. Saving energy saves you money. When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money.
Welcome back. Our second session, we have Coach Colley, the athletic director and head football coach at Murphy High School. Coach, appreciate you coming today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Coach, you got a big smile. Tell us about that Kill McGill week and the big victory Friday night.
Well, yeah, I've been at Murphy for quite a long time, so I kind of understand the importance of the rivalry, but I think I really got it this year because my first year as the head coach, so everybody's kind of looking at you and everybody, are we going to win? Are we going to win? And not being a Murphy grad, you don't really understand it, I don't think, until they put all that pressure on you. But, man, I got it this year, and it was an intense week, and luckily we came out on top and got to paint the cannon blue and gold.
Great. Coach, I know you've been around a while, and you served as offensive coordinator under Coach Lee. What has been the biggest adjustment for you coming from assistant coach or coordinator to the head job?
Well, I was fortunate to work for Coach Lee for so long because I think whenever I was, young in this business, he says he saw something in me, and he kind of took me under his wing and taught me, as if I was going to be a head coach one day. So the transition has been, very easy because of all that. I mean, he's groomed me from, 10 years of working with him that one day this is going to be yours, one day it's going to be yours, you're going to have to handle all this. So it's been a fairly easy transition, and I work with wonderful people. I mean, people that have been at Murphy for a long time, so they understand Murphy High School. And Murphy is a different place to work than most. I mean, there's not a, Midtown is not a everybody goes to the same church type of place, and you have to bring all that together. And our coaches do a great job of that. Tim Jordan's he's a Murphy grad and been there forever. And he helps me with, everything that we do. W.C. Johnson's been there a long time. So having those guys around really helps.
It really does. And there's something to be said for those assistants that stay there at Murphy for so long.
Yes, whenever we go talk to our middle school athletes, that we're coming to, we always tell them, we're not going to go anywhere.
Right.
There's not a better job in the world than Murphy High School. So the people you're talking to now are going to be the people that are coaching you for 4 years. We're not going anywhere. So it's to us the best school that you could possibly work at, and we have no plans on ever changing that.
That's great. Coach, go into your season. You've had a very successful season. You just kind of walk us through the season from the first game to the present.
Well, we played a preseason game against Enterprise, and we jumped on them early, and we had a great night. And I think that we, from there, thought that we were, I don't know, going to be champions of the world or something. And we got humbled the next week against Baker. Not just the players, coaches too. We were very full of ourselves and went out there with a bad plan, especially offensively, my job. And we kind of got grounded then, and we just went back to work. And the entire off season, we kind of stressed being a physical football team, and we hit the weights, and it's kind of helped us through the season. We had one broken leg early in the year, but knock on wood, we've been healthy, and we, Coach Lowell runs our weight program, and we accredit the weight room to that. That's where we think that it's really helped us. Avoiding injuries has a lot to do with the football season, and we've been lucky in that this year.
And Coach Lowell, I know, is a great addition, a former head coach. He's a lot of experience with him, isn't he?
Right. He's a former head coach on our staff. W.C. Johnson's a former head coach. Bobby Curtis comes out and spends time with us. He's a former head coach, coordinator. We have a lot of experience out there, and it definitely helps out a lot.
Coach, who have you got this week?
We got Fairhope this week, number 2
one.
team in the state, and we're excited to go play them. It's really, and I tell people all the time that look at me like I'm crazy, this is my favorite kind of game to coach in, where there's not a whole lot of expectations on you. You really get to go out there and just see what you're made of, find out what kind of team you got. I said that when we were going to play Daphne. And I'm excited about going to play these teams. I want to play the best possible teams because, what's the point if you can't get out there and you find out where you stack up? I don't want to go play somebody that, you feel like you should beat every time. I want challenges, and our kids want challenges.
And this region is a challenge, isn't it?
Every week is tough. I mean, the county schools are doing such a good job now of running their programs that there's never an off week.
Right.
Every week and you can look at the scores. They're all tight, every week you feel like you have to play your best football. There's a lot of pressure.
And of course, your extra game, you picked up Viger and
we picked Viger and
so,
Daphne.
I mean,
So it's been people looked at it and they said, "Are you trying to get fired?" And it just felt that those were the teams that we could play. There were other teams the week of Daphne that we could have picked up, but they wouldn't play us.
Right.
And Coach Vic graciously, played us. And Murphy needs to play Viger. Viger need to play every year. So that's something that Coach Johnson and I wanted to get done.
Viger, Murphy, McGill need to all play one another every year.
They have to play.
That is. Coach, let's talk a little about your quarterback, Duke commit, outstanding player, one of the best quarterbacks that I've seen in a while. You can talk a little bit about him?
He's just a phenomenal player and a phenomenal person. He's one of those that all the teachers love. He could sit here and do a better job at this interview than I do. He's a very well-spoken kid, works hard, and I'm just real happy that he's getting everything that he deserves.
Mm-hmm.
He put a lot of work into this, and made a great decision with Duke. I don't even know if he communicates with other schools anymore. I don't know what Duke's plans are with him. I know where I would play him. Mm-hmm. I'd play him at quarterback because I watch football on Saturdays and you see some of those quarterbacks. He's better than that guy. He's better than that guy. So he's going to do a great job whatever they ask him to do. But he's been a blessing to us. He's a 3-year starter, and that's tough to do at the quarterback position, especially at Murphy High School.
I noticed hearing him talk the other day a little bit on game day. You just see the confidence in him when he talks, and I think that watching him play and just his overall demeanor, that he's picked probably the perfect place to go, hasn't he?
I think so.
He's very good academically also, isn't he?
He is, I think, a 3.7, 3.8 GPA, something like that, and he is a top-notch student. I mean, he's worried about his physics grade and all of this all the time. He studies when everybody else is off playing around, so he's a rare breed these days, and we're just blessed.
Coach, I know you got more than him. What are some of your other top players this year?
Defensive lineman Mose Hall recently collected an offer from Minnesota, and I took him to Tuscaloosa this weekend, him and a couple sophomores and our kicker. We went up to Alabama game. They got an invite, and Zedric Raymond, a cornerback, is being recruited, and Albert Howard, a wide receiver. So we got quite a few players that have an opportunity to play at the next level.
Coach, y'all have got a direct line to Minnesota, it seems like, don't you? And we got a couple players up there already, don't you?
Our kids love it. It's we always think they're going to go up there, and they go on this visit in January. We're like, man, they're going to go up there, and they're going to come back home. But they go, and they run them through those underground tunnels where they don't really feel how cold it is, and they love it. I mean, with Gary Moore, a defensive lineman that signed with them last year, came home, and he said, Coach, I'll never come home. I love it there. So. And KJ May scored his first touchdown for Minnesota Saturday, first one of his career, and it was quite a play. And they dove in from the 5. It was nice to see that.
And they're having an outstanding season. I think they're 6-1.
Right.
So that's great. We'll be back in just a second with Coach Williams and Coach Collett after these messages.
It started with me at Murphy High School when I came here as a freshman in 1973. I was very interested in math and science already before I came to Murphy. From Murphy High School, I was appointed to the U.S. Naval Academy, was able to get my college degree and also my commission in the U.S. Navy from the Naval Academy. But it truly was the foundation that I gained here at Murphy High School that allowed me to take advantage of that great opportunity.
I bought smartboard, that's wrong.
Welcome back. We've got Coach Colley. We brought Coach Williams back. And first question, Coach Williams, is talk a little bit about off-season. People don't realize the assistants have to work year-round too. So talk a little bit about your off-season program.
Weight room, run 'em, agility drills, core, plyo stations. We do all of it. We try to get in the weight room with the kids and hold them accountable to get every rep of every lift that they're going to do, and they buy in. They do a good job, so they do the work, but we're just there for encouragement to help them and make sure that they're getting stronger every day.
Coach, do most of them show up? Do y'all open the weight room at different times or just one time a day, or how do y'all do it? I know schools do it different ways.
In the summer?
In the summer.
In the summer, we open it up in the morning. So we open it up from 8 to, they lift from about 8 to 9:30, and then they run and get some conditioning done outside for another hour. And then we open it up I open it up for baseball after that at from 10:30 to noon. And we get our baseball lifts in then.
And it really hurts with losing your baseball facility, doesn't it? You want to talk a little about that? The tornado it just took that place and just demolished it, didn't it?
Yeah, it's spread out over Midtown right now, I still think. But the slab's still there. We're hoping to get a building put back up. I know that there's some different phases, and I think I don't know which phase exactly it's in, but I've been told that it will be rebuilt, that it was part of the insurance. So we're just looking forward to get that back, because when it rains, we really can't practice, and we're behind because every other team is practicing.
Yeah, it's huge to have a facility like that. Coach, you want to talk a little about your defense and what you're running this year?
We're a 3-4 base.
But Coach Lowell, I think,
Coach Lowell's running the defense, and what he does is it's when an offense gives them a formation, that's how they line up defensively. And he jokes all the time that on game night he really doesn't do a whole lot, because we run a base defense, and that's what we do. And we teach them how to squeeze off blocks, and linebackers how to fit, and safeties how to fit off what the offense gives, and we line up and just try to play football. We are fortunate enough to have really good football players at Murphy High School. And sometimes as coaches we get in the way of them playing because we want to show people how smart we are. And Coach Lowell's done a good job of just, let's line up and play football. And when we do, we're pretty successful.
Okay, I know we've talked about your quarterback Turner, but actually, what kind of offense are you running?
We're a spread team. We run a lot of option stuff, and we try to throw the ball on first down, just to keep people honest. But we love to run the football. We're very good up front. Coach Atkins does a good job with our line, and Coach Jordan's coaching the running backs. And between the two of them, they do a good job with our run game. And that's what I was brought up on. And I'm going to try to run the football. And we're usually at the top in the state in rushing, and that's where we like to stay, because we feel like if we can play defense and we can run the football and control the field position with the special teams, that we're going to have a chance every week.
Coach Williams, talking about the baseball season, you're in a new area this year. You want to talk a little bit about that? And it's a tough area.
I think it's the toughest area in the state. Fairhope, Foley, McGill, Tulane, and Murphy. I mean, you want to talk about just some great programs there. Fairhope's been kind of the gold standard, for baseball down here. Them and Baker and Bryant and Mary Montgomery, just with all those teams together. In our area, and then the area on this side of the bay, that's all, Baker, Bryant, Mary Montgomery, Theodore, and Davidson. That's good 7A baseball down here. But yeah, it makes it more difficult. But like Coach Colley said earlier, I mean, you want to play the best teams. If you can't beat the best ones, then it gives you a good stand. It shows what level you're on whenever you get to play those great programs.
Now, with your baseball team, do you work with them in the off season or during the summer? Do you work with your baseball also?
Yes, sir, we do. We run an off-season program. They lift, and then we do throwing programs in the summer to try to keep them in shape. But we require them to play baseball, and they want to play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they go and they play in park leagues. They play on travel ball teams. They do all kinds of different things. And then we have a number of them that play football too. So they're staying in shape as they're doing that. And then in the fall, Coach Lowell runs our strength and conditioning program, and he's a former baseball player. He keeps them in excellent condition.
That's good. Coach, let's talk about those AD duties. People don't realize that can be tough, and it can take away from your football sometimes, can it?
It really can. Whenever I took over the job, that was the thing that kind of ran me the craziest, because you just don't know everything that it entails. And it's, you know, meetings and meeting with parents of different sports when you're kind of out of the loop on a lot of it. So
Right.
you go in there and you want to make sure you're making the right call, but also being supportive of your coaches and the programs that they're running. And again, being at Murphy, the AD job at Murphy is probably the best one because I have great coaches. I mean, you don't have issues with your volleyball program. You don't have issues with your basketball and your baseball program because they run such great programs. I've watched Hayden Mitchell coaches our soccer team, and I've never seen someone work so hard on a soccer off-season program. And they're going to be successful, just like our basketball team will be, because the coaches put in so much time to make sure that they're successful, and that makes the AD job a little bit easier. But it's been a challenge and an adjustment period, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I tell you, people don't realize an AD job is almost a full-time job in itself. And I know sometimes they're more busier than others, but even though you may have somebody else doing the C2C, ultimately you're responsible for it.
Right. You have a C2C person who does,
Right.
but no one will talk to them, so you still have to handle. It's you know, a little bit silly sometimes. I was talking to Coach Lee. I was like, so we got a C2C person, and then you have an AD, but neither one of us can talk to the people at the state, so we have to go through the principal. So
yeah.
usually the protocol is the C2C person brings it to me, and then I look at it and make sure that it's right before we go to the principal, because he really doesn't have time to be worried with it. So it's you know, there's a chain of command that you have to go through just to get something that's you would think is pretty simple done.
Right. Well, listen, I appreciate y'all both coming today. Coach, continued success the rest of you. You've done a wonderful job, and I am so proud of you. I went to Satsuma, and you were seen there, but I am proud of you. Coach Williams, continued success, and hopefully you have a long coaching career ahead of you. I appreciate both y'all coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.